from Israel, it is none other than Mr. Haluk's neighborhood. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Wow, busy days.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's doing well. Um, we are in the final less than an hour of Yom HaZikaron, our Memorial Day for our fallen soldiers and security personnel. Totally gut-wrenching experience. I guess it was about 12 years ago, maybe the first year that I was here in Israel. I went to Har Herzl, Mount Herzl, for these ceremonies, and I mean, I just, I could, it. All right, let me stop telling you how bad I felt. Let me explain what goes on here. There are over 24,000 of our soldiers and security personnel, even the pre-state era, that are buried throughout Israel. There is not a single grave of theirs that is unattended today.
Wow.
If there aren't living family members there, there's a soldier standing there all day long.
Wow.
Regular programming goes off the air, and they screen the pictures and the names of every single one of the fallen. It is now, today I guided at the Kotel tunnels, the Western Wall tunnels, and that's where one of the main ceremonies is, the eternal flame, the changing of the guard. Of course, the siren goes off for 2 minutes at 11 o'clock. It's highly emotional.
Yeah.
Of course, that leads into an incredibly bizarre situation where in an hour from now, the entire country will be ecstatic because of Yom Ha'atzmaut, or Independence Day.
Yeah.
Israel, 3,000 years old, 74 years young. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The history that you go through in a short amount of time in Israel, going from the memorial of the Shoah just a short time ago.
Just
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, I remember being there. The first time that I was there during that day, we were actually the tour group. It was our first day. We were in Netanya, and we were just getting on the bus at 9 a.m. that morning. And I saw our guide, who I only had met him the night before. I saw our guide get off the bus and walk out and stand. And I just got off the bus. Nobody else did, and I got off the bus and went and stood with him. And it just began a great relationship for our tour. And he just kind of looked at me like, I'm not really sure who you are, but I think that I like you, kind of thing. And it was an amazing event. And then I've been there, of course, for Memorial Day, which is so totally opposite from America and the mattress sales. It's this honoring of those people, and the way that Israel honors people that have given their lives, the ultimate sacrifice, of course, for the land and the people is so moving. To be there for that.
It's really an amazing thing. I really would love to spend the day tomorrow and go and see the overhead flights of from the Air Force. But as I was joking with you before, us tour guides that were napping for 2 years have to try to grab as much work as we can whenever we can.
Yeah.
So I've got an all-day Jerusalem tour. Now, the last 3 hours of it are supposed to be in Machane Yehuda. So I spoke to the people of the company of Tourist Israel, and I said, y'all realize, because they're in Tel Aviv, y'all realize everything's going to be closed. Do you expect me to ad-lib for 3 hours? said, no, just explain that it's closed for our Independence Day. I'm thinking, oh, that real problem. Anyway, speaking of tours and tourists,
Yes.
now everyone should know that when you're coming on Connect to Israel, you, Mike Clayton, send out a really, really extensive list of the do's and don'ts and what to expect at the airport and what to say to security. And, you'll be with many of the people. I mean, we have the 15 or 16 Connors coming, from the same area, from Franklin. So I mean, it's a lot of people traveling with you and Kathy. Now, I've heard people come to Israel and ask bonehead questions and do silly things, but nothing tops a week ago when Americans who were leaving Israel, out of their luggage falls an unexploded artillery shell from the Golan Heights that they picked up. Okay, so the airport security announces to slowly evacuate the terminal. Okay, so it must be a scene from the Keystone Cops. People running. Now I've seen the videos. People are hiding on things. People are, running, screaming. Ah! The best thing, I'm sorry to laugh at this, one person got hurt.
Oh.
Because he jumped up on the baggage carousel and was running. This must have been a scene like from Monty Python. And of course, he fell off. So we have to tell people, don't bring live munitions. We also have to tell people, don't bring your knives. It's really tough when you're going through security near the Western Wall and you realize you've got Americans in the group and you say, okay, pepper spray, knives, expandable steel batons. It's like, oh, no, guys, this isn't Greenville, Spartanburg. Y'all can't do this. No. Anyway, I'm collecting great stories once again from people. On a tour 2 weeks ago, lovely group, an extended family, 12 people from Denmark. And the woman came over to me, and we Israelis, we Jews have a very soft spot in our hearts for the Danes, who basically spirited out their entire Jewish community to Sweden before the Nazis came to round them up. So she came to me and said, can I ask a favor? So I said, of course, thinking, oh no, what? She said, when we go to Ein Gedi, can you show me the cave that David hid in?
You've been with me when we've joked about that,
it's an ongoing joke. It's a running joke.
Yeah.
Because due to flash floods, the caves that we will see on Connect in November, by February, some have closed and some have opened. In fact, due to heavy rains back in 2019 going into 2020, you, Mike Clayton, will see the changes in the route after the very first waterfall.
Oh.
You will. Now, by the way, for those listening saying, oh my God, there are waterfalls. No. Do not be thinking Niagara Falls.
No.
Slowly. This is more like a canal shower, Seriously. It's like, it's a couple of buckets of water, not much more.
Yeah, pretty much. And as everybody sees, we're having some internet connections. This is like the second or third time we've tried to record today. So please bear with us. But this is not even North Carolina waterfalls. But hey, it's kind of a cool thing to go to and enjoy yourself up there. So
Very much so.
You're going to be so you guided 4 times in the Kotel tunnel today.
Well,
What?
actually, the morning one was canceled. The morning
Okay.
one was canceled. So I
Okay.
got up at 5 o'clock in the morning for an 8:20 tour that did not show up. So
Okay.
yeah. So I guided 3,
Yeah.
but it was scheduled to be 4.
Oh wow. So was the city packed with people today?
Not packed. It will be tomorrow.
Okay.
It will be tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Um, the thing is the atmosphere on Yom HaZikaron on our Memorial Day is somber.
Yeah.
It's somber. Um, Now, if people are wondering, it's like, so what are you Israelis talking about? Besides, should there be new elections? When will there be elections? Well, it's like when the idiot Russian foreign minister says, "Oh, Hitler had Jewish blood," and now that Israeli mercenaries are working with the neo-Nazis in Ukraine. I mean, clearly, is there a single functioning brain cell in the Russian leadership? I mean, they're just out of this world, out of this world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? When Mr. Hanoch goes to America, Mr. Hanoch is going in June. Guess who's coming here? Dun 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 dun. Dun. Joe Biden.
Really?
And as we say in Hebrew, yeah.
Huh. So
Why they invited him, I have no idea.
so we have a trade. We're actually trading Joe Biden for you.
And a player to be named later. Yes, unbelievable.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Unbelievable.
pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating. Let's talk about the Harvite, the Temple Mount. Is it still
Yes.
closed for
Still
everybody?
closed. Yeah, still closed for all non-Muslims. The situation in Jerusalem remains tense.
Okay.
One of the guides at the Western Wall tunnels was the guy that got badly injured when his bus was stoned 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I saw him. He's back. Pretty shaken up. It was an early morning bus. It was just him and the driver. Stone comes through the window, knocks him over, hits him over here, knocks him over. And the driver comes to see how he's doing. And he realizes the driver is an Arab.
Oh.
And he's thinking, if they storm the bus, anyway, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And everything, it's in Hamas's interest to stir the pot. That little slimy King Abdullah of Jordan, basically one day we've got to all, take them all out behind the woodshed and teach them a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the job I'm applying for.
Yeah, that would be a great thing. So all these the tourists that you have coming right now, is this pretty much Europe or where are they coming from?
Okay, a surprising amount of Americans,
Oh.
and Europeans, and a lot of foreigners that live in United Arab Emirates and work there. We are a desirable destination for them to go and visit, because now there are direct flights from Dubai to Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
So it's a straight shot. I think it's like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours for them. So a lot of those people are on it. When I say a surprising amount of Americans, it is surprising, because there are many times, Mike, when we've had our Connect group, and you and I mentioned about all the groups that were passing in the streets,
Mhm.
and no one is speaking English.
Oh yeah.
So it is surprising. These are people who, when I ask, like, what brought you guys to Israel, it's a lot of like, well, I had it on my bucket list, or well, I was planning to go in 2020, and well, I mean, clueless. No, I mean, no burning. I did have a woman on a tour a few weeks ago who was Greek Orthodox, but she
Okay.
was there because a friend of hers was getting married in Israel. So she was all excited at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, wanted to light a candle, all that stuff. But these are other people who have little to no connection to anything, don't
Wow.
know anything at all about the Palestinian Authority, don't know anything at all about Israel. Have their, and the Jews among them are like the most, I don't know if you, we don't even have a term like ultra reform, but these are
Hmm.
people, okay, like this couple the other day. This guy is 77 years old, always had it on his bucket list. Jewish guy from America, not at all religious. I mean, not even, he wouldn't know a Torah from a toothpick. This guy, clueless, but wanted to come to Israel. Of course, he winds up with me on my all-day walking tour of Jerusalem. Had no idea it was a walking tour. 8.5 hours is a forced march. What can I tell you?
Wow.
What can I
So,
say?
so you've got this broad range of people. I got an idea. Maybe we could put the Church of the Unholy Sepulchre on the Connect to Israel tour, and we could go in and blow out candles.
You know, y'all just got to be so difficult. I must say.
Well,
By the way, so I had this group the other day from North Carolina, and I told them about my dear friend in excuse me, my dear friends, the multitudes in
yeah,
Franklin, and they looked at me like shocked, like so you go to North Carolina, like not Charlotte, not Raleigh, not Asheville,
yeah.
Asheville. I got to tell you, I mean, when we stopped in Asheville, I was not at all impressed. Not
No,
at all impressed.
no, no, not at all. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Okay, well, I do have to I do have to send my regards to Israel, because there's some events that are happening in the next few days, and this is flashing news. You want to do the little do thing? Do. Okay, see, I did it. I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
I got it
I'm
going.
no caffeine and I'm ready.
Yeah, okay. But newsflash is that Bezrat Hashem, God willing, I will be actually boarding a Delta jet next Tuesday and coming to Israel to see Hanoch Young, to spend time with him.
Yeah, Mike Clayton comes to Mr. Hanoch's neighborhood. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
The best.
So I do have to say a great thank you to Israel, because in honor, before I even booked my ticket, pretty much as I was booking my ticket to come, Israel decided to go to my favorite restaurant owners and say, Mike is coming to Israel. You guys need to open your restaurant. And so, in honor of my coming to Israel, the Korean restaurant in the old city is now open. Thank you so much.
Schoolhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an incredible place, considering that Kathy and our oldest son is in South Korea, and this is kind of like visiting him, but being in Israel. It's kind of weird, but
Oh, no. It makes perfect sense.
of
And
course,
you know what? We can actually set a place for him.
there you
And
go.
we can say, so Stephen, what would you like to have for dinner? It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Maybe a little soju for him there. So, but I will be heading over. Hanoch has offered so graciously to meet me at the airport and to put me on the train, make sure that I get to Jerusalem in one piece. The new train going up there. So we will not have, probably for the next 2 weeks, we will not be having a formal Israel update like this. We'll probably do something along the way here and there. We'll at least take a couple of selfies. I plan on taking a selfie, not with you, but with your daughter, because she takes a much better selfie. So
I can't argue with that.
no, you can't. There's nobody in the world that would argue with me on that.
Yeah.
Just saying. But I'll be in Israel I'll be in Jerusalem from Wednesday through Sunday morning, and then heading up to Har Barakkah, the Mount of Blessing, spend some time with some friends up there, numerous places in Samaria that I'm going to be going to. And Hanok's got to lead a tour. I mean, after all these years of doing nothing, I'm coming to Israel, and he decides to go back to work. So, but I'm gonna be posting a lot of things on Facebook. Yeah, if people don't have a Facebook account, it'd be a good time to set up a fake one or something. I don't know.
That's great. That's great, Mike. So looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So much to share, so much to discuss, so much to catch up on.
Yeah. I'm just.
And then, of course,
I've gone through all my. I'm learning how to jump all these hoops, and I'm not a real good hoop jumper. So I'm going through paperwork, and you got to make sure you got the right insurance. And I've got to drive to Atlanta to get my PCR test, and then all of these different things that have to happen along the way. So anybody that has a little extra prayer time, I would appreciate it.
Sounds great. That sounds great. Well, I look forward to seeing you next week, Mike.
Yeah, it's almost surreal right now to think about going. It's just, I don't know. A lot of crazy things going through my head as I'm thinking about being there again. So, and of course, the reason for, people ask, okay, so why are you going? I actually saw someone yesterday, and I said I'm going to be out of the country, and they said, oh, where are you going to go? And I said Israel. And there's a lady sitting there in the waiting room of where I was at, a mechanic shop, and without even taking a breath, she said, why? And I just looked at her like, you poor pathetic thing. That you wouldn't understand why. So, the vast majority of the world doesn't get it, and that's just the way it is. But I'm looking forward. This is going to be my 30th trip to Israel. Right on it's almost. I'll actually be leaving. I had looked at my passport again. I thought that it was going to be on the anniversary of being there 24 years ago, but it's going to be like a week early from that. So. Yeah,
that's close enough. That counts.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, hey, enjoy some work. Enjoy Memorial Day tomorrow, and tell everybody hello. Just don't
Memorial
tell them
Day is today. Yom Ha'atzmaut is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Take care, Mike.
Okay. Take care. See ya.